Hello everyone, welcome to A Foreigner Farming in the Philippines. Don't let me interrupt you there, Pete. Go ahead.
I figure I'm going to Dubai and get another piece of cable.
Another piece of what cable?
Like black cable.
Why, the stinger's not long enough?
Well, may not be the stinger's not long enough. I want a fairly long ground strike too.
Oh, okay.
And a clamp. Huh? A better clamp.
A real clamp?
Yeah. I settle for a magnet.
So this is, I used to have magnets. I brought them from the States, but I don't know. Tante, where's all the magnets? Do you know?
I cannot see.
Yeah, I cannot see either.
One's got a hole in it so I can stick a bolt to it.
Yeah.
Put lugs on the end of it. That way all you got to do is to the magnet.
So this is Pete's new fancy generator welder. It's a well, who knows what is a move your arm there, Tata. I can't. Hakata. Who knows? That's Chinese, I guess. Sounds Japanese, but I would imagine it's Chinese. But Pete wanted a real unit out here, not just some Mickey Mouse crapola. Because Pete wants to build steel girders for the roof.
that still too hot?
What?
Is that still too hot?
No.
Yeah, Tatai, this is a real welder, so you don't have to set it on absolute maximum because 140 is probably too much. You had it set to maximum. That's why the motor is not set up to run this at absolute maximum amps. So I turned it down. It's at 140 now. Really, you only need 120. You want 120? This ain't my first rodeo, and I kind of know a little bit. I could tell that it was pulling it too hard, and it's a factory unit, and it's a good unit. And knowing what I know about Filipinos, my first thought was that damn motor's not hot enough. It's not powerful enough. My second thought was, let me check that amperage, because I just about can guarantee they've got it turned up all the way. Because generally, that's what you have to do. When you're using Bahico power, you have to turn it, whatever welding you're using, whether it's a conventional or an inverter, you have to turn it up to max, because your voltage coming off the power pole is between, I don't know, 140 and 180 volts on a 220 volt system. And so you have to turn your welder up all the way to get anything out of it. And I think that was just Tatai's knee-jerk reaction, because it's what he's used to, because that's what you have to do everywhere, is turn it up all the way to get it to do anything. So while he was welding there, I don't know if it clearly showed up on the video or not, I just turned it down. And it works absolutely just fine. Not on maximum though. It won't run. It lugs it down too much. So it's set right now on 120. They had it up to 190. I don't know how clearly you can see that, but that's where they had originally set it at. It's not going to run. It just won't do it. It'll run all day on 120, 140 even, but not on absolute maximum. This is an excellent unit. I don't know if Pete, yeah, he's told me, so I don't guess he cares that much. This unit wasn't cheap. It was 70,000 plus pesos, which is, oh, what is that? That's 1,400 US. So they weren't giving it away, but I don't think you could find anything close to this, especially not diesel, in the States for $1,400. And this is a generator. It's a dual unit. It's generator or welder, and so you can run your house off it as well on a power outage. It's just a switch here. Welding is this way and generator is that way. And of course it's 110 or 220 or just 110. And you've got some separate plug-ins here for 110, and you've got one here for 220. It's all fuse protected. It's got a circuit breaker on it. And this is a nice unit. And it's got, I would assume that's volts. Yeah, that's a voltmeter. I didn't notice what it was reading when it was running, but yeah, that's a gooder. Yeah, I'm going to finish this one up. Old Pete, he's got materials everywhere here. All this form bar, and they're making trusses and all kinds of stuff here. They pretty much finished the blocks, and now they're just making well, they're making the trusses, and then they're making forms for the top beam, and that's what all that is there. So this is a pretty well constructed house, as houses in the Philippines go. And it's got form bar, as you can see there, in all the walls, and trusses all the way around. Now, me, you know, back when I had lots of money, I don't know, you guys have probably seen in old videos, like I've got all those beams, same kind around the top of our house, but because we're an earthquake country here in the Philippines, and I was from earthquake country in Northern California, I kind of had some, well, I knew what earthquakes were all about. And so it's like this form bar here is number 9, could be even number 10. In our walls, in the house that we live in, it's number 6, which is is the uprights here in this beam. And the beams, I think, are 4s. It's thicker than my thumb. The form bar that's in the beams on our place. Just because I wanted that extra strength for in anticipation of an earthquake. So we used like 6,000 US dollars just in the form bar in the house, and our house isn't that big. It's only like 20 by 34 or something like that feet. But a lot of it went into the beams that go around the top. Not the very thickest form bar that you can get here, not the size that you make digging bars with, but the next size down, which is substantial. And it's just everything was bigger and beefier, and that's the way I wanted it. But it wasn't cheap. But this is adequate. This is good enough, and it's better than standard here. So it's looking good. And now they've got the welder, so they can begin the trusses. As I had said before, the main reason that Pete got that welder is because Pete's a welder. He can weld, and you know, he's like other foreigners who have heard all the horror stories about how wood here doesn't last because of the termites, and they're like, you know, they're mostly correct. You can treat wood here. Cocoa lumber's the hardest to treat and make it last, but things like tugus and there are kinds of wood here that you can use that aren't so susceptible to termite damage, but you got to treat it, and the treating is expensive. So what Pete wants to do is just put metal trusses up here, build them himself, get the angle bar and just build them, and have an all metal roof, metal trusses, and the metal roof. And the upgrade from this barn roof, I call it, the same kind as what's on the old that section there, and that looks like crap, but it's that style of sheeting. I can't remember the name of it, but this is going to look good. This is the kind of form bar that they use to make these digging bars. Now, what's in our house isn't this size. It's the next size smaller, but it's substantially larger than the large form bar there. I forget what size it is. It's been 6 years. I can't hardly remember what happened yesterday. It's looking good. They're making good progress. This welder is going to basically pay for itself just building these trusses. So I'm out of here. I'm going to let these guys do what they do. I don't know, maybe they'll get these beams finished and poured this week. That's kind of the last thing they've got to do on the walls. And then it's probably time to start the floor. This project is coming along. Tata's running this crew pretty good. What can you say, Nerio? Very hot? Yeah. It's actually not that hot today. It's cloudy. It's just muggy but it's a better day to be working outside than a lot here in the Philippines. We've basically started the rainy season, so it's better than the blazing sun. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.